Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't already know, my name's Joe. This channel is all about documenting my own process, my own journey with ADHD. These videos are going to be super raw, super real, not edited whatsoever. And I kind of like that. I want to own the fact I've got ADHD, and hopefully it's going to make us more connected. And ultimately, that's what I want to achieve here. I want us to have a community of like minded people. Today, we're going to talk about jobs. Now, this is something, I'll give you a brief history about myself. So, I've been in full time employment for 20 years now. I did 13 years in the military, and then I came out and I was an engineer in the military, and I've followed that on for the past 8 years, 9 years. So, yeah, I've got a fair bit of experience there, but the long term vision for me is to be an entrepreneur who works for myself in a passion driven business. And you'll hear me say passion driven business a lot during this YouTube channel, because I truly believe that if you've got ADHD, you should use your ADHD tendencies to hyper focus in on something that you're interested in and create a lifestyle and a business around that. Now, let's talk about traits that we have. So, if you've got ADHD, you're going to have some of these things. So, firstly, you're going to be able to intensely focus on things that you want to intensely focus on. Now, this is always a contradiction, isn't it? Because some things we can't focus in on because that's what ADHD is, but we know that if we are really passionate about it, we can do a really deep dive on it. So think about the things that really fuel you. We're really creative as well at the same time. And I think that ability to hyper focus in on things, because we spend so much time thinking about them, we end up having a lot of avenues we can go. We really think about them in a broad spectrum, and that's really creative. So don't try and hinder any of that. You need to really step into that, dial into your creativity. We've got the ability to take risks. The amount of people that I see and I've worked with previously that have got crazy academic abilities, but they don't like taking risks. They're happy to stay where they are. Whereas because our brains are spinning around, we're constantly thinking about new ideas. We're happy to take risks. We're more willing to take them. And again, you need to lean into that. And the last thing is routine. So we do kind of like the structure of certain things, which again is a bit of a contradictory thing, but have a think about all of those tendencies. And what I would say is something that I've messed up with over the years is I've started entrepreneurial journeys, businesses, and if I really knew what I wanted my life to look like in 5, 10 years, then I wouldn't have started them. So take this time now, have a think, and have a really honest think about what you want your life to be. So for me, myself, I need enough money where I can sustain my lifestyle I'm living now, which is my kids live in a nice area. We have a nice house. We have nice cars. They're not crazy expensive cars, but they're nice cars. We go on holiday quite a bit. We travel. We eat out when we want to eat out. We do buy fairly nice clothes as well. So we live I'd say middle to upper class, in that sort of region. And I want to sustain that lifestyle. But a big thing for me is I want the ability to work when I want to work. Now, I don't want to not work. I think we need that structure. And just being real with you, if you want to be successful in anything, you really are going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to put in the hours. But for me, I want a business that gives me the ability to work when I want to work. If I want to get up at 2 a.m. and work for 6 hours until 8 a.m. and then take my kids to school and the day's done, I want to do that. And the last thing I want to touch on is location freedom. So I spoke a little bit there about travelling, and my long term vision is to be able to travel. Now, I've got children and they're going to be in school, so I can't just up sticks, travel the world, live in Bali like you see all these other people doing online. But I want to try and spend as much of the school holidays out of the country or travelling around England. So yeah, those are the big things for me. And like I said, I'm just mentioning them because I want you to think about what you want. So your long term vision and what you really need. And if you understand all of that before you start looking at what jobs would suit us, then you'd be able to dial into the right things. And I've made some mistakes on those topics along the way, which I'll document in a video all on its own, because I have made loads of mistakes. But without being a spoiler for that video, have a think about where you want to go first and really spend some time thinking about it. Not just you, you might have to get your partner involved. Talk about what you want as a family, or if you've not got a family and you're on your own, then have a good think about where you want to go. Now, I'm going to promote this massively. So owning your own business is a big thing for me. I think being your own boss, being able to focus in on what you want and focus in on something that you're really passionate about is extremely important here. And I'm going to talk through a few business ideas. First one I'm going to touch on is videography and photography. Think about all the things that I said before so we can hyper focus. We'll be able to create stuff, we're going to be able to take some risks. So it's going to be ticking a lot of our ADHD like checklists that we've made before. Now there are some downsides to videography. You could be working for someone else, and that means that you're in a certain location at a certain time. If you want to earn really, really good money in videography, you're probably going to have to travel a lot. You have to spend a lot of time out of the house. But arguably, you're going to have the ability to manage your own diary. You're going to have the ability to work for who you want to work with. You're going to have the ability to work with niches that you want to work in. So when I did videography, I worked in the fitness niche because I'm really into my fitness. So that really worked well for me. I got to surround myself with people that are like-minded, that I had a lot in common with, I learned a lot from at the same time. So videography and photography is a really good one, and it's dead simple to start. As a quick summary, I taught myself in the first lockdown. I bought a camera, I bought a course, and within sort of the first 2 months I had my first paying client. It really wasn't that difficult, and I think in this day and age where everyone's online, there's much more of a drive towards people paying for videographers. So there's a lot of money out there, and it could really be the thing for you if you're looking for a passion-driven business that you want to get into. And don't think you have to be an absolute expert, you have to be a perfectionist at it. Me, myself, I'm quite, I don't want to say money motivated, but I think when I'm earning money from it, then it keeps me engaged, it keeps me driving forward, and it stops the guilt as well. I think sometimes I'm spending a lot of money on a certain project, then I feel guilty because I'm taking money away from my family, essentially, money that I could be spending doing the good things I spoke about earlier, travelling, eating out with my family, having good experiences. So I did YouTube videos. Now think about YouTube videos, especially in the fitness niche realm, they're fairly raw. And even people that do a lot of vlog style videos, if they're getting quite high up and people are shooting YouTube videos, then they might pay a videographer to come around with them, and they don't need the videos to be really highly polished. You're following someone around with a camera, and if you know the basics for that, then it doesn't take a lot to pick up those skills. So it's quite like a low barrier to entry. Now there is some outlay with cameras and other bits and bobs, but some people might already have the camera if you're going to be doing YouTube for them, but you're going to need your own. Smartphones are really good in this day and age, and I can almost guarantee that you might be watching this on a smartphone, or you have a smartphone, and the cameras are great. So you can get a lot of experience. You can even learn with your smartphone, create a load of content, make sure it fits with your lifestyle before diving in and buying a camera. So it's a great business to start. Now the second business I'm going to talk about is a marketing agency, and what I mean by that and my knowledge on marketing is with Facebook ads. Now Facebook ads are something that A, are very time consuming, but B, for us, that they're something that you can really use your creativity for, and you can hyper focus in on it. Now a lot of business owners, they don't want the hassle of running their own Facebook ads, and it's not a skill that takes a long while to master. I'd say it's more like laborious, and that's why people don't want to do it. It's not because they're not good at it, but it doesn't take long. You could do a course, you could go on all of these course apps, programs we've got online now, and learn to do Facebook ads in this very, very short space of time. But even go on YouTube, to be honest. And the way that the Facebook algorithm is, because a lot of people run ads on Facebook, it's so clever that the ads are getting simpler and simpler to set up. But a lot of business owners, like I said, they don't want the hassle of setting that up because it is so time consuming. So a media agency could be a way forward. You could get some exposure by looking to run ads for businesses that you might know them personally, or you can offer to run their ads for free for a certain time. Or quite a lot of people, they do a deal where they approach a business, say they're going to run their ads, and they're only going to pay them if they get the results, or they work the first month for free. There's quite a few avenues there where the barrier to entry is really low, and all you need is a laptop. So it is that simple. Now, I learned Facebook ads through running my own businesses, so some of these could intertwine. If you've got a passion, something that there's a product that you want to sell, and then you get that online, you start running your own Facebook ads, and then it becomes profitable. And even if you just break even if the amount of money you earn from running the ads, so let's say you're selling a product and you sell 10 of these products and it gives you £100, but then you spend £100 on ads. It basically means that you've learned to do ads for free, along with the other good skills that you've learned across the way. So there's loads of ways of getting into Facebook ads. Like I said, I did it personally because I run ads for my own business, and I still do to this day. And it's a great skill to have, and it can go across multiple different areas of your life, because marketing is so important. Yeah, so if you are interested in that one, get on YouTube, watch loads of videos. There's some great audio books or the physical books. Guys like Russell Brunson is absolutely amazing at explaining marketing. So get involved with that if that's something that you're interested in. Now, the next point I'm going to touch on here is e-commerce, and this is my biggest passion. It ticks all of my boxes. You have a website that's open 24 hours a day, and you can work from anywhere in the world. Great. So it ticks all of the boxes, all the things that I'm looking for, and I'm very, very pro on e-commerce. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't know how to start a website. Creating a website in this day and age on websites like Shopify is really, really simple. They make it so simple. They have templates, so the websites are already built for you. You just have to drop and drag your pictures, change the text, add your products. Honestly, within a week, you could almost be a master, or definitely know enough to build your own Shopify store. So I think e-commerce is the perfect driver for us. And what I said before about the ads, if you've got an online business, you need to run Facebook ads, or you need to get very good at organic content. So there's loads of good things that you're going to learn on the back of it. So you have a website, then the analogy I like to use is you have, let's say you buy Harrods or Selfridges or one of these big stores if you're from America, or Walmart, but you drop it, this store, in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere. There's no cars going past it, no people are walking past it. Nobody knows your store's there. The only way you get people to walk past it in the internet space is by running Facebook ads or by social media and content, organic content. And those are two great skills to learn. I just truly believe that e-commerce is one of the best drivers for us with ADHD, because it gives you all the freedom, you get all the creativity, and there's loads of different aspects to it. And I'll do a video all on its own with regard to e-commerce, but look at it on YouTube, just put in e-commerce or building a website, building a Shopify store. There's loads of videos out there. But if you have, what I would say to you is that if you have a product you want to sell that you're really passionate about, and things that I always look for, if you want to buy something that you either can't buy it because it's too expensive and you can bring something cheaper to market, then do that. Or you buy something but it's not quite fitting what you want, then the likelihood is other people will want that. And there's ways of getting stuff to market really, really cheap in this day and age. There's something called drop shipping, where basically you take products from China and you don't even have to buy the product. So you go on a Chinese website, or you go on a website selling Chinese products, you find the product that you want to sell, you put that on your own website, and then you start running ads to that. And when you make a sale, all you do is buy it from China and they send it directly to your customer. So the barrier to entry there, the financial outlay at the start, is really, really low. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is almost like videography and photography. It's being a content creator, doing what I'm doing now. Now, this is really unnerving for me, but get in front of the camera, talk, or you can start faceless pages. There's loads of AI tools out there at the minute where if you've got a subject that you want to talk about that you're really passionate about. You can create loads of content around that, and then you can pump that out to the wider world, and then you're going to get money on the back of it. There's loads of ways to monetize things and earn a living off the back of it. Now, it might not be something that happens overnight. Some of these content creation realms, they take a little bit longer to get going, especially if you're doing the faceless version. But if you're willing to get in front of a camera, or you've built up some skills with a camera, then you could start doing product reviews, and then you start getting brand deals, or you start creating UGC content. For those of you that don't know, user generated content, and there's websites now where you can advertise yourself as a UGC creator, and you're on there and people will approach you and say, I want you to make X amount of videos for my brand, my products, and they'll send you the products, you can make some videos. And if you're thinking, well, that's great, but how do I get off the ground? Just use products that you're already using, create good content around them, speak about them, and then put them online, and you can use that as your portfolio. You don't have to have been paid to make that, but there's just showcasing what you can do. So there's quite a lot of UGC creators out there. There's like UGC websites, and again, if you want some experience how to do it, put it in YouTube. Or another really good thing to do is just go onto social media, find people who are creating UGC content, and have a look what they're doing. And I don't want to use the word copy, but you see what they're doing, and then you put your own spin on it and you create your own content. And even if you was to copy it, not word for word, but let's say they did like a shot of the product, and then they went on to talking about it, then they did another like video of the product, then use that format and create your own videos. Do you know what I mean? You can use that as like a template for creating your own videos. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is being an online coach. Now, there's loads of realms you can go down with this. If you've got life experience, you can teach people your life experiences. And this can be overwhelming for people. But if you can, no matter what level you're at, let's say you're only at the intermediate level, then you can teach beginners how to get to intermediate. So you don't have to be the expert talking about and then be able to talk about everything below it. If you just know a little bit more than someone else, then you can teach them that skill. And again, there's loads of great resources here on YouTube that teach you how to do that. I'm actually reading a book at the moment called How to 10 Million, and that's really good if you want to get into being like a coach or selling information products online. And again, the barrier to entry is really low. If you've got a smartphone, you can create content similar to what I'm creating now, and you can create a course, and then you just need to reach out to people and sell that course, or start a YouTube channel, start social media accounts talking about your strengths and getting to where you how you got to where you are. Now, like I say, this can be about anything. If you've got some skills, so people make courses and do coaching on like relationships, people who can't even find a girlfriend or boyfriend in the first place. Do you know what I mean? It could be like the bottom level entry, whereas getting into a relationship is you have to take that first step of finding someone. If that's something you're already experienced, then you could do that. Do you know, I'm trying to give you some examples here. Obviously, people do it in fitness. And you don't need to be like a big rip-toned guy or girl if you just know a bit more than someone else. And again, if you're like, you could say, well, I'm too old or I'm not in the best shape. But, you could target people who were in the shape you were before and got to where you are now. That's what it's all about. And this could be applied to any aspect of your life. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to know more than someone else and be able to teach them that. And there's loads of avenues you can go down. Like I say, you can go down the course creation, you can go down the group coaching, you go to one-on-one mentoring, you can do like online coaches do. They do like a weekly check-in and they send you a plan and they get you to stick to the plan. And just having that accountability is priceless. Like, I've had a fitness coach myself, and just knowing that I've got to speak to them at the end of the week and talk to them about my progress I've made really gives me a kick at the bum to get the stuff done during the week. So yeah, hopefully I've given you some ideas in this video, but I'm just going to say it again what I said at the start. Have a think about where you want your life to be. Not what job you want to do, what you want your life to look like. And then I think the rest of it can all fall into place. So that's the end of the video. Thank you if you made it this far. I've rambled a little bit. The video is super raw, as always, because I've got ADHD and I want to own my ADHD. But please do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.